High hopes, dashed expectations, Zelensky's London gambit. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky arrived in London with a weighty mission. He sought to rally Western support for peace talks with Russia. A glimmer of hope flickered after months of brutal conflict. Zelensky aimed to leverage international pressure on Russia. He believed a united front could bring Moscow to the negotiating table. However, Zelensky's hopes were soon to be dashed. The diplomatic landscape shifted dramatically just before the summit. Key Western diplomats announced their withdrawal. This left Zelensky isolated and cast a long shadow over the talks. The London peace talks were no longer a stage for global diplomacy. Instead, they became a stark illustration of the fragility of international cooperation. The last-minute withdrawal of US Secretary of State Marco Rubio sent shockwaves through the summit. Rubio, citing the need to focus on talks in Moscow, left a gaping hole in the diplomatic lineup. This unexpected move left many questioning the US's commitment to a peaceful resolution. The absence of other key figures, including US Special Envoy Steve Witkoff, further deepened the sense of disarray. The summit was downgraded to a series of behind-the-scenes discussions. Ukrainian officials were left to grapple with the fallout. The optics were undeniable. The world witnessed a visible crack in the alliance against Russia's aggression. Zelensky, visibly disappointed, pressed on with meetings. However, the absence of his Western counterpart spoke volumes. Behind the closed doors of the summit, a different kind of drama unfolded. Whispers of US proposals for a land swap, potentially recognizing Russian control over Crimea, fueled anxieties. Zelensky remained resolute, rejecting any territorial concessions. He emphasized that such a move would violate Ukraine's constitution and the principles of international law. The US, however, seemed to be losing patience. Vice President J.D. Vance issued a stark warning. He suggested the US could abandon its mediating role if a deal wasn't reached soon. The pressure was mounting, but Zelensky refused to be bullied into a deal that compromised Ukraine's sovereignty. The behind-the-scenes discussions revealed the growing rift between Ukraine and its Western allies. The collapse of the London peace talks had immediate and far-reaching consequences. Globally, there was widespread condemnation of the US withdrawal. Critics accused the Trump administration of undermining diplomatic efforts. The Kremlin, emboldened by the disunity, intensified its attacks on Ukrainian cities. The fragile hope for a ceasefire evaporated in a hail of missiles and drone strikes. The ramifications for Ukraine were particularly dire. The failed summit left Zelensky in a precarious position. He faced mounting pressure to negotiate, even if it meant making painful concessions. The international community, though sympathetic, seemed powerless to rein in Russia's aggression. The collapse of the London talks marked a turning point. It signaled a dangerous new phase in the conflict, with the prospects for peace fading further into the distance.